Okay, that looks like I'm on. Awesome. And I'm going to be working on this chunky boy that you see here. Come on, don't do this to me. Okay. And I got the base done. It's just a matter of getting the rest of it done. Okay, where I throw my damn brushes at? Oh, okay, they're right here. So yeah, pretty much got the carapace done. Just got to start getting details like armor trim, do some heat effect on the barrels, a little bit of the feet, and then on this printed base that I did, gotta get that up. Figure start from the top and work the way down. And I have to go in and do a little more detail work later, but that's fine. Doing some thoughts on it, and figured that a good contrast color would be appropriate. Who is running upstairs? Thought about gold, but here we go. Royal ruby. The paint's probably need a little more mixing than usual because it's been sitting for a minute. And it's been a minute since I used this one, so hopefully my paint is still good. Do that. A little bit of Gamsol. Three drops. I'll do. Put that back in. Set that there. I think I can get away with a slightly larger brush. Yeah, this is probably going to take. Yeah, this is probably going to take a couple of coats. Oh yeah, this is going to be painful. So yeah, I have to go over. I have to go over twice. It looks like. Try to do this with minimal swearing. Okay, yeah, now the paint's starting to solid out a little bit better. That's good. Just those first couple ones before that Gamsol starts doing its work. Need to get some Tamiya thinner, but just on the plus side, down here it's nice and cool, so got that going for me. Turn my phone off as well. Oh, yeah, it might help if I actually have the brush down. There we go. Yeah, I'm definitely going to have to go over and retouch some of the scarab. That's fine. So, yeah, so far, I like the contrast. It's not quite gold. Use a lot of gold. Get tired of it. There's Warren Penny, but Warren Penny, yeah, it's good for like common machinery. Then try to do this as smooth as possible. But yeah, it's gonna take multiples. It looks like. And I got the timer on in my headphone, and the timer is a movie, The Irishman, because The Irishman is 3 hours and 30 minutes from one end to the other. So if I paint the entire time, I know I've spent 3 hours and 30 minutes painting. So I don't have to take a guess at how long I've been at it. Just put it on in the background and let it go. Yeah, it's coming out better. Getting over that top is gonna be a pain in the ass. Then figure out doing that the effects on this thing. Get the trim, done first, and go from there. Lore wise, this machine is at least 10,000 years old, so it should have a little bit of wear on it. So I thought about getting like some. I got a bottle of Crackle. Do some Crackle on it in order to kind of weather the paint out without having to do like an excessive amount of it. Yeah, that's gonna take 2 coats. Okay. Gotta be very careful about manipulating them. There's certain things that I can't see faced on, and trying to do this without using a headlamp as much as possible, so I'm not blinding the camera. Because that is although the headlamp is like, it's nice. That and having a magnifying glass for the, have a magnifying lamp for the small details. It's like very short strokes. And then once this is all done, I'm probably going to hit it with a fixative spray just to keep it down. I figure I'll do one side first, and then the other. That way I can minimize the amount of manipulation that I have to do. And also not get paint all over my freaking hands. So yeah, that's what the contrast will look like on that one. Play with the light a little bit here. And just to kind of, just with different lighting. So, turn it down, there we go. Got this thing up all the way? Yeah, I do. Okay. Play around with it a little bit. Usually get the slightly warmer light because it's easier on my eyes. Okay. Yeah, I totally fudged that. It's okay though. Shear down a little bit here might make this a little easier on me. As normally when I'm painting, I can hold it in my hand. That's, I could hold this in my hand, but that just makes it harder to manipulate sometimes. And Figure I'll do this like when I just do squads. I'll just do all the colors one time, and basically just trim all the details out. And then I'm gonna have to retouch that. Fuck. God damn it. No, it's okay. Minor imperfections. So good to me so far. Do you play 2K point games that are just the higher points games? Actually, I've never had the chance to use this on the tabletop. Full disclosure, I just recently built this about 2 weeks ago with my printer. Uh, this is just more of a funsy project because I like the aesthetic of the Knight Porphyrion, but they are just difficult to get a hold of. Uh, I've been looking and trying to get one when it's in stock is damn near impossible. So I took it upon myself to design one and print it myself. Hence why it looks a little. I'll explain here in a second when you can see it. Because, but the plan is to actually use it in a game. Usually, me and my playing partner, we normally play about a 3 point game, about a 3K game, just for funsies. You know, get out there, shoot some shit, and it all started about maybe 2 years ago. He got in during the beginning of 10th edition, bought a starter set, wrote me in to playing Warhammer, the bastard. And so we'd play at his house using the 10th edition starter box. He got the Space Marines and Tyranids. I played Tyranids the first game we ever played. Then got into the hobby, and just because I enjoy hanging out with my bro, my buddy Ben, and that's kind of how I fell into it. And started out as a guard player. Like the romance of just normal humans against the terrors of the universe kind of thing, and needed something to kind of bring like a bit of a punch to a game. So went to my local game store and they had a Night Valiant. They had like an old Forge World Night Valiant in a box, and so I picked it up. And since then, I started collecting knights, and with so now about a little over 2 years later, I have about 3K in guard, about 3K in knights, and about 3K in Imperial agents. But I've never used this on the tabletop yet. Plan to run a game with it just to see. It's also good for Horus Heresy as well because I got the um, yeah I got the Imperial Questors book for Horus Heresy. took me probably about four about 4 to 5 days to design and get it correct, and then about about 2 weeks on and off to fabricate it, about 2 hours at a time with a resin printer, and then assembly was actually the easy part. That didn't take very long. It ended up being a little heavier than I thought it would. I weighed it out last week, and this thing, it's about 2 pounds, 10.2 ounces in weight, and probably took me about a bottle and a half of resin. Okay, so I need to do that. I'm probably going to have to do like 2 passes on this trim here. But yeah, higher point games. I think he's about 700 and change right now. Let me look that up. I don't want to misquote myself here. Where's my test list? Friendlies. Yeah, he's about 725 points right now, which, but 725 points is not bad considering you get, 13 toughness with a 2 save, 30 wounds. Yeah, 6 on leadership and 10 OC. But I mean, you get like a 72-inch range with a Magna las cannon, and you get 2 of them. So there's that. I mean, compared to like what's like the smallest Titan you can get a hold of. Look at the Titan Legion. I think it's a little Warhammer. Yeah, Warhammer's about 1100 points. Still 13 toughness and 10 extra wounds. But throw this bad boy in there like with a 5 5 up invuln save for range, and say you're running a free blade company, you get that you get that feel no pain and plus that auto wound auto heal every on your command phase. Yeah, normally we'll run like 3,000 point games just for fun. I have to make 2 passes. Yeah, that came out a little smoother than I thought it would, though. Probably should invest in a painting cradle for something like this, but okay, yeah, there we go. That's definitely smoothing out better. Well, that's one of the benefits is you can, I like being able to. I'm so used to painting small, small frickin' miniatures that using the large brushes feels kind of weird. I don't have an airbrush, and yet, but even if I did have an airbrush, I would have to, because like over here is my printer, and over here is my wash station. I need to build a whole nother table to give myself more space. Yeah, Knights is enjoyable. I like it. It's a little different than when you're used to playing like a horde army. Definitely a lot easier to pack and set up. When you're only setting up like maybe a couple few units versus all of them. There's that. So yeah, it's definitely looking a lot better. Doing a minimum 3 color on these won't be that bad though. Yeah, having to do a double pass, that's really not too problematic. Just Doing the trim won't be that bad. The detail work is going to be the fun part. I'll assume you play yourself here. I need to recondition these brushes at some point too. There's that. So, yeah. And I like the look of that scarab green. I hadn't used it before, so I'm gonna grab a drink. Yeah, the Rip It, the official global or the official energy drink of the global war on terror. Now I think about it, it's been a minute since I played a game with them. I haven't really had the time to play a lot. Last game I had was a kill team game with my friend Ben. I had my camera running while I had about a 2 hour, about 2 hours for the game, give or take. And last time me and him hung out, I was coming back from vacation. And before that, I think we painted a little bit and got a couple 10 done. Probably my nephew up there running around the house. That's fine. I clean all this stuff out from underneath this desk. Okay, so that you can get this leg here. Yeah, I think I hear fireworks, but I could be wrong. My hearing is a little suspect. Whoa. Yeah, at least these are big surfaces to paint, so it's not bad. My painting queue is not great. I've been neglecting it. Plus, with doing more building like this, this project kind of consumed me in my free time for about a couple of weeks, and didn't take any of my painting stuff with me on vacation. So, hi Nikki, how are you? Busy today? So yeah, you can see just the contrast there. It's visible. That's the other good thing about this one versus the actual model is if I beat this thing up, I don't feel too bad because I can always make replacement parts. Luckily for me, I don't really play tournaments, so I don't have to worry about whether or not it's tournament legal. I'm gonna need a smaller brush for this probably. Nikki is probably working right now, so I can tell because she waved high. That's normally what she'll do. She'll wave high, pop off, and I will probably get a message from her in a minute. Yeah, I'm gonna. That's something I need to do tomorrow. I talked to my niece when I was on vacation. I was like, hey, she's the esthetician, and asked her where she got her nail art. She does nail art, and asked her where she got her nail art brushes at. So I need to hit her up one more time and ask her what the hell that place was because I didn't write it down. Unfortunately, I can't wrangle her into being like a painting apprentice. Like, hey, do this, help me do some detail work here, kid. And I'm gonna have to get one of my hook brushes to get inside this because I didn't paint this before I assembled it. I was excited to assemble it first, so it's kind of on me for that one. But I've never painted it then assembled. My patience is not infinite by any stretch of the imagination. Earbuds on, you can hear me. Okay, I figured you're working. Come on. There we go. Get my handy dandy hook brush, which didn't start out that way. It just became that way. So, and luckily, it still has a little bit of play in the leg. So with that play in the leg, you can kind of maneuver them around a little bit. Now the now the fun part, because I can't exactly see what I'm doing. I need light. Where's my light? There we go. See, I need to put this on my left side because since I'm right-handed. Okay. Okay. Swap out the brush for the other brush and go back to. Okay. So yeah, it's coming together. Keep forgetting it's upside down now. Okay. Yeah, it's just in a Themo, but it's nice because it's got this big wide LED band. It's got a sideband there as well. Also has IR if you need infrared for whatever reason. Pretty handy if you have an infrared scope. Just saying. Yeah, so far fairly smooth. Yeah, I'm at the part of the movie now where Frank Sheeran goes to Chicago and they're like trying to knock the cars into the Great Lakes there. So I already talked to Jimmy Hoffa over the phone. So that means I'm probably about 40 minutes in, give or take. This goes to show how often I've had this movie in the background. If I can give you a general idea about how long I've been painting without looking at a timer or running a timer for that matter, which is kind of sad and also kind of scary at the same time. Okay. It's going off pretty good. There we go. Just got to make sure I'm getting my brush all the way in so I get a good mixture of paint and Gamsol and not just Gamsol all over the damn brush. Put a couple drops of Gamsol over the top, and as long as you don't mix it into the paint every time that you touch in to get paint from a palette, the Gamsol will coat the outside of the brush while the paint gets onto the inside of the brush. Yeah, fuck, I'm about to retouch that. And I also have a metal ring on my right finger because what it does is it gives me a little more stiff control on the brush, so it's got like a hard surface to rest against. Uh, Farther on my finger instead of trying to get it in the crook of my finger. It helps. Because metal just happens to be a lot more solid than my hand. So it's little stuff like that that you pick up over time from other people. You test it out. If it works, it works. If not, you discard it. And I learned that from one of the guys at one of my local LGSs. He's like, "Oh yeah," I just asked him, but he was painting. I was like, "Hey, what's the ring for?" He's like, "Oh well, here's what it's for." And he explained it because I can push down on the brush here, and then it'll just sit against the ring like that. Ah, fuck, that's all Gamsol on that brush. Thought it's a Galaxy ring. No, I don't wear smart devices. I don't like being tracked, which is, I know, surprising if you know anything about my work history. Ah, excuse me. Yeah, I had to turn split screen on there so I can see messages as they're coming in. And, I need a little more light, so. See, now I need a hook brush. Okay. Almost done with one part of the leg. Yeah, fuck, I meant to retouch that. Shit. Okay. Be very gentle here. Okay. Come on. There we go. And it's these little details. It's getting there. Oh, get a drink real quick. Looks. Yeah, it is a decent size. He's one of the larger. Oh, actually, no. I take that back. He is the largest knight. Not the tallest, but he is the largest. Okay, that's fireworks. Okay, this is going fairly well so far. Okay, I'll probably make a second pass on that, looks like. So I'll let that dry while I get the next one. And so probably the one bad thing is not painting this before assembling it, is that all the little nooks and crannies I need to reach, I'm gonna have to get creative with my brushes in order to get to them, but that's fine. I'd rather not have to deal with it. Bend that. Yeah, I can still bend the legs a little bit at the knees, which is good. Kind of. Or I forgot that I didn't assemble it all the way at the leg. Yeah, I totally forgot about that. So I'll set that there for now. Make this a little bit easier. Probably prime that out and it'll stick a little better too. Yeah, I feel kind of bad because I was doing it the hard way. Is it okay about your me time during vacations, museums? Oh yeah, yeah, I love museums. Went to a couple few while I was on vacation. Went to the Veterans Museum there, and they had some pretty nifty stuff in there. Um, Very quiet place. A lot of uniforms, a lot of old guns, and a lot of narrative. I probably spent about maybe 3 hours in that museum, walking through and reading over the exhibits. I need to do these bases too. Now that I think about it. Then we went to the Foster Museum, and they just had a shit ton of guns there, a lot of animals, and a polar. There's a polar bear in there, and next to it, there's a sign that says this polar bear is 9 foot tall. Come on. And the museums spend a lot of time at museums, which reminds me I need to. It's been a while since I've been to, well, except for vacation. There's one that's about maybe 15 minutes away, and every time I look it up, I'm like, yeah, I'm going to go there, and I still haven't gone there. So I need to make a trip out there sometime and actually go do it. It's just very tiny details I'm trying to hit with a brush here. Ah, fuck. Messed that up. All right. I'm definitely going to be doing some retouch. Unfortunately, my hand is not steady enough. So I'm getting some of this ruby on the scarab green. So to go back through and touch that up. It shouldn't be too problematic though. It happens. one little spot, like right there. And if I get behind the leg shield, I don't feel too bad about that. So. That's oh shit. Paint in there, and should have a couple drops of Gamsol in there. Hello, David. How are you? Welcome. Just doing some painting tonight, trying to knock down my painting queue and relax, and try to make this not a painful process, because that is not fun when painting is not fun. That is not annealing the way I want it to. Damn it. I probably need to let that sit just a little longer. Let's brush the back of that real quick. So just get that to anneal out. Yeah, definitely need to get some brush conditioners. My brushes are just rough as crap. I just recently washed these too. And I remember to wear my painting pants this time, because last time I didn't, and I spilled frickin' paint all over a nice pair of pants. It was not good. Not good in the slightest. So yeah, that's another thing I learned is have a solid pair of pants or shorts that you paint in. So if you spill paint or wash or anything, you don't got to worry about that. Be a double pass on this as well, I'm sure. Yeah, definitely gonna need a second pass. That's okay. Come on. There you go. Actually, come on. Work you. Take your time. Yeah, very, very small detail stuff. Shit. The only problem with these dark colors is gotta put a little bit of light on to see whether or not you actually got the paint over it. Come on. Go. Very small. It's like a small edge right here that just can't quite. Okay, 2 more spots on the leg. Yeah, it's going along. It's definitely a good contrast. I think I made the right decision on that. Uh, I figure I use a slightly larger one on the top here because I got the whole backside of the leg to figure out. Suck that brush out. Starting to come together. Just these little tiny bits of the edges that are really getting to me here. Okay, I'll come back around on that one. See, I primed it, and then I went over it with a coat of obsidian, uh, mainly because especially when you're using a brighter color, it's usually easier to put a base coat of a different color on than put another color on top. Generally prefer uh, colorful tones. Um, I also like glitter paints as well. Yeah, like this. Yeah, this ruby red. It's a metallic acrylic. It's yeah, it's not. I do have some Citadel paints. Uh, like I got a couple that Citadels that I normally use, like Kislev Flesh. Uh, Probably one of the best flesh tones you can get out there, and the White Scar. Yeah, White Scar layer paint. It's one of the brightest whites you can get, which are good for that. But I also use a lot of non-Citadel colors. I use a lot of Vallejos, Army Painters. I have a tendency to try to use little brighter tones, especially knowing full well that I'm going to wash them. And the whole grimdark thing. Yeah, it's a cool aesthetic, but it doesn't mean that everything has to be like freaking grimy and super muted. It's tiny little details. And there we go. Should be most of the work on the legs. So I got. I just have to get the other side and then like the front of the carapace. And trying to think what else I want to do with the. Oh, I got to get the I got to get the other thigh, and I got to get the set that in front of me here. So I got to get the other thigh. I got to get the center here. It's like a part of the face there probably that needs done as well. Probably leave them like this for a minute because I'm gonna have to make the night cast. Oh, hey, Heavy Gaming, how you doing? Glad you're here. Welcome. Just doing some painting tonight. I'm a night owl, so late night entertainment is always something I personally appreciate. Yeah, that's fine. How are you doing today? I could probably access. Yeah, I should be able to get good access to thighs here, and I see that I missed a part there, so I probably need to touch that out. I meant to say the night cafe. I'm very tired. I have lots of music in my ears. Nice. What are you listening to? I got a movie going. I have the Irishman playing while I paint. It's my timer. Touch that out. Same thing here. I'll have to come back and hit it with some gray. Fill it in with that. That way I know exactly where I need to paint it. Yeah, I'm not familiar with what a night cafe is, but I'm assuming it has something to do with coffee. These big sections here are easier to paint. And if I were to do this again, I would probably put a little more thought into magnetizing the torso and the legs, but I didn't think about that at the time. Probably had enough magnets to do it as well. And I gotta get the back. Paint was wet. Gotta get the back too. Yeah, the light's a little warm. I can turn that off for a bit. So funny. Boss came into fun is on table. Occupying one corner. That's great. And it's not like you can really see me. Probably see the model more than anything on the table. See my probably my chin, maybe the tip of my nose, and a hand, and the rest of me. So figure out the angles here. If I figure out the angles, then it shouldn't be too difficult. Plus, if there's any minor imperfections, once I wash it out, it ought to, you know, usually it hides a couple of flaws here and there. Which reminds me, I need to find my applicators and see where the hell they're at. Ah, shit, I need the hook brush. Okay. Oh wait, hold on. That was the mask brush, not the hook brush. No, that's the mask brush. Yeah, I need to get some. I need to go to Michael's and get some brush conditioner. I'm gonna clean these out and then. Get the back of it here. And luckily, I can access the top of this thigh from back here. Okay, that is there. Okay. So we got the front of the carapace here, which this will be fairly straight on. I'll use the mass brush a little bit. Yeah. Mass brush for the big portion, and use the smaller brush for the detail. And just get over that as well, because I'll come back and hit that with some Emperor's Gold later. If I overgo on the carapace, that's fine, because I'm going to go back and hit it with the scarab. So I already know I'm going to have to go back through and touch up some details. So get a coat on it, and then come back and touch it over. And that's going to be a double coater. Yeah, that's going to have to try and get a second coat. Okay. So yeah, that's just one pass, and I'm gonna let it dry and probably have to do a second pass on it. Just fine. You know, I need to do some more, mix some more paint up. Getting there. Little tiny details. Oh yeah, this carapace is coming along just fine. And I gotta get the back panels on there too. But oh no, it's too much. Too much. Way too much paint on that brush. Yeah, I definitely say I need to do some detail on the inside here, which is fine. It's expected. Yeah, it's got enough tack in it where I can go over a second time. Get underneath that thing here. Okay. Yeah, it's starting to come together a little better now. Slowly but surely. Still got to do this one side. And still got to do the face detail, but I'm going to wait for this paint to dry before I deal with that, because that's probably going to be the next one that I do. It is not trying to get wet paint all over my fingers. Hit that one more time. I could probably do a mass brush on that. Should be fine. Got to be able to run it. Okay. That's a recess. That doesn't really require that much detail from me. Just gotta make sure that it touches and it matches. Actually, I could probably just I can base coat that over and do the detail. Now for this part here. One more paint. Get a drink. Oh, get a pouch in and I got about maybe another hour and yeah, about an hour and 8 minutes. I was close to the money. Close to the money. So I should be able to finish out the details I want to finish out within the next hour easily. Once this movie is over, I generally take. That's how I know when to take my break. And basically, damn near 4 hour block of painting. Okay, I just noticed there's another part of the carapace that I need to do. Cool. So that should be good. If I overbrush, that's okay because I know I'm gonna have to go back over and touch up details anyways. So a little bit of yeah, precision is a must, but it's not a game killer. Actually, now that I think about it, I probably could have done this one first and then do the scarab after the fact. Probably would have made the touch-ups a little bit easier, but either way, I'm still going to be doing touch-up regardless. Yeah, I'll probably use the mass brush there. I forgot to get this side too. Fuck. Definitely gonna have to do some touch-ups. Come on, there you go. Debating what I should do with that. I can always come back to it. Focus on what I need to get done first. Then I can figure out this back part of the carapace here. I can always pull this part out. Let's get a light one down, let it dry. And surprisingly, I've spent this entire time painting only one color, but with a model this large, I'm not surprised at that. Usually, that's what I end up doing on larger models like Nice. Is just one big color, then one color at a time, then one color at a time, one color at a time. That way, I don't have paints drying out and doing all that shit. I know you're still listening. Doing my best to focus. Taking my time. I'm kind of curious how much fixative this thing can take. I got probably about a can and a half of color shot. Ready. Getting there. Slowly but surely getting there. I got more Gamsol than paint in there now. Damn. And honestly, it wouldn't hurt just to hit the whole damn thing with the scarab and then deal with it. Okay, so that's going to need some fluorescence to get to that point. Stand up on the barrel. Okay, so that, yeah, I still got to figure out like all the power block, the coil. That's probably going to end up being an effect more than likely. Usually it's an effect. It's like I have a choice of blue or green on that one. I like the green personally. The green just looks much better. It's just me speaking. And doing the heat on the barrel, that's going to take a couple of hours to do because that's going to be like a 5 coater. Do an okay heat effect. Get these back armor panels. That's going to require another touch. Let's hit that real quick. Get the angle right here so I can catch the light. Small little bit right there. You barely see it, but I notice it, so it's a problem. Okay, so let that dry. And honestly, this is probably one of the bigger projects that I've done painting wise in a while. Because usually it's squads or characters, sometimes smaller vehicles. Off to this that way is my table where all my models currently reside. Just got to maintain the paint to Gamsol ratio here. Yeah, I'm thinking up here I'll probably do like the burnt. I'll do the worn penny, because then I can do like the get like the exhaust, you know, do like some exhaust and yeah, fuck. That's that's definitely gonna require touch up. That's okay. Yeah, I definitely need to get a more. Because my quadruple zero is fucking busted. So yeah, that's what we're looking at right there. Luckily, this resin is a little more durable than the actual parts, so I can manipulate it and keep it on the table like this for a minute. It'll be fine. Yeah, it's gonna be a second pass. Okay, I see where I fucked that up. Alright, come back and get that. That's fine. So yeah, first pass. Not bad. I'll take it. I'll take it. Get some paint and Gamsol mixed up. I literally have like that little bit of paint there. Just got one more pass to do on the parts I painted. And then I got the front plate there. Take a drink. Yeah, I enjoy painting as long as I'm having a good time with it. Uh, Usually it's one of those things like you gotta, a lot of time, I'm not one to try to force painting to just do it. It's different when you're painting for someone else, but when you're doing it for yourself, you have to enjoy it. And I've seen people like try to like buzz through like a massive number of models in a short amount of time, and you kind of see the well when you're there, you can kind of see the frustration on their face, and it's not a I'm not a fan of that kind of thing. Was I able to do that? Yeah, that's good. Definitely gonna have to wash my hands. I got like a ton of just freaking paint all over. Yeah, I got about a half hour. Need some change. Should be fine. The amount of time that I have. Total time after this would be about 7 hours. I have to remember to charge my headlamp back up when I'm done with it. Little spot right there. At the top of the arm plates here. Oh, hey, my lamp died. Okay. Alright, that's fine now. Shouldn't need it much. It's more for nooks, crannies, details. Unfortunately, with the contrast between this red and this scarab, I can see what I missed. Which makes it a little bit easier. Very much so. But since I don't have my lamp, I'm just going to assume that I missed these edges here. See if I can adjust my light here a little bit. There we go. That should be good there. Okay. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna have to retouch that. That's understandable. But I do like the look of the obsidian, though. 'Cause the obsidian, I mean, metal, the obsidian and the zinc have two different color profiles, which is nice. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna have to do some retouch. Okay, yeah, it's good. I'm just gonna have to hit it with a second pass. Is my paint out of proportion? Yes. Okay. Okay. Yeah, I'll probably end up doing just one color at a time on this, like usual. Yeah, first pass, not bad. Is there anything else that, actually, since I got this out, I'll just start touching up while that dries. Your buzz is out. Yeah, it's a real tight fit in there. Yeah, I keep seeing this paint on my hand. I just double check and making sure I don't have blood on my hand. Not that that's ever happened. Luckily, I do not have an aversion to blood, mine or anyone else's. So I got that going for me. Okay. Is there anything else I want to get while I put this little bit of paint here? Actually, yeah, I'll put some on do the trim of the feet. Even though I know I'm gonna probably do some grime and some mud effect. I got the paint out, so I might as well try to use it. Oh yeah, that's coming together. I think my that's one thing I need to see. I need to see if there's like a AK. AK probably does have a like a oil, one that make like an oil effect. I gotta find. Yeah, I'll have to go to hobby shop and see if they got something available for that. As you can see, the yeah, little differentiation there in the toes. They should have enough to do these. I'm not going to double coat. I'm not going to do two coats on this. This should be fine because I'm going to be doing other stuff to it. So I'll just serve as the layer. This paint's a little thinner than I like it though right now because I got more Gamsol in here than I have actual paint. Ah, shit. I need just slightly more. we go. Okay. Look that one over. That one's fine. Yeah, that one had the right consistency in the paint. Alright, so that should be good where I can do a final on this one. My time is running out. Yeah, okay, I'm pretty happy with that. That dug right into my hand. Okay, so make sure not to touch the paint there. And then okay, so pop that back in. So press. Pop that in. That one has a little more flexibility. So I can kind of pose them a little bit. Plus, I had to, when I designed it, I had to kind of fuck around with it to get him to be able to stand because the legs are supposed to be offset. But when I designed him, I didn't take the legs into account, so the legs were hitting each other in the toes. Hence why he's got two 100mm bases there. Because normally he's just a frame character or a frame model. Put that there, be fine. Yeah, about three, one or 3.5 hours. One color. Try not to pop the mic there. Yeah, he's getting there. And then yeah, it's got to do the aquila and gold. I got this trim here. Probably figure out like what color that's going to be. Probably do the warm penny on the exhaust, and then do the have some wash for exhaust to kind of get them a little bit dirty. Then probably the last thing I'm going to do is on this base here where he's stomping out that war dog, because this other one here that's just going to be like you just do like metal surface, then some effect, then like somewhere in here, actually it's like right here. There's like a little sight, so I gotta get a green light on there. Do the face. Probably pick a different color for the helmet just to give it a little more pop, and then probably the last thing once it's all done is I'm gonna have to go back through and do like just detail fixes on the green scarab paint, but that won't be too hard. And maybe some obviously try to do heat effect on the barrels, do weathering if do weathering on do some weathering like on the paint, that kind of thing. Honestly, like the heat effect won't be that bad. I can just print. I can just always print another barrel, and I can just always print another barrel, and that will probably you know probably try to practice it on just printing one out. It shouldn't take very long to print. Usually it's about an hour, but not bad. Not bad at all. It's coming along. Yes, and he'll be here until I'll probably try to get some paint done tomorrow as well, and it'll be all right. That's probably going to be another 3.5 hours of one color. But it's usually how it turns out. And it's about 11:30, and then yeah, I'm already starting to feel it, and I'm hungry because I haven't eaten. I've been sitting down here for like 3.5 hours, damn near. So or 3 hours 15 minutes, and I would actually check the timer. And The Irishman just ended. Literally the last scene, I can hear "Still the Night" by the Five Satins in my left ear. So yeah, I accomplished my goal of getting about 3 hours and some change of painting in. So, and move the camera out just a little bit. But yeah, pretty much worked out fairly well, and I'm happy with the results so far. It's going to take a little longer to get this like all the way done, considering how large of a project it is. But that's fine. Anyways, I'm going to call it. So, thank you all for joining, and